Welcome to Herman Hits the Road. I'm Ads and this is Herman, our 1998 Hymer B564. It's built on a Fiat Ducato chassis and engine, and it has this characteristic headlights here. And as you can see, one of them is missing because in this video we're going to show you how to replace this light, adjust it and put it back in. So keep watching. So a lot of these Hymer's Ducato chassis have auto leveling headlights, and there's a switch on the dashboard. You just switch it from 0 to 3 and then the lights all level out. Now how that works is by vacuum. The engine sucks on this cable, I guess, and this little actuator here pushes on the lights and makes them do that. There's also two adjustment screws at the top like on most lights, and that allows you to limit the amount of movement there is. What can happen is that it gets a leak somewhere along the lines and they stop working. Very common fault, and ours has done that. They used to work, of course. I remember driving down the road and twizzling the knob, and it will actually I could see them moving, but no longer, unfortunately. So we can't level them now. We can manually level them. This one here I've manually leveled by just twiddling the two screws at the top, but this one has failed entirely. It just shakes in there, and you can't level it anymore. Right, so why is this a problem? Because it's very tight down the side of here. We're not talking just here, we're talking all the way back here. In fact, you can see my hands all the way back there, and it's very cramped. This light, that's the right hand side, or the off right hand side, was fairly easy to get to because there isn't much in the way. Okay? There isn't much in the way. You can get down there with your hand or crawl underneath and adjust it that way. This one, however, you've got these ducting pipes coming down from the heating system, dragging down, following down the side of the inside of the wing all the way down, and they're in the way. So I've had to pull that out. That's them there. They're quite large, and at the end they look like that. So mice and stuff can't get up there. And I just basically release them from up here. There's a gap here, there's a hole here where you can detach it from, and there's the other one there. I just pulled them out, or pushing and pulling, and eventually they did come out. Then there's the next tough bit, and that's getting your hand in there to get a screwdriver. Find the 4 screws. There's 4 screws that hold a metal plate to the inside of the bumper here. You just basically got to get your hand in there. I used one of these. This is a Bosch electronic screwdriver. The head of it is detachable, and you've got various attachments for this. And you can see there's actually off center. If some parts of the vehicle are in the way, you can kind of go around them with this, which was very useful for a couple of the screws. Let's go to the workbench and I'll show you the headlight. Okay, so there's the headlight. You can see if that was connected to the body and it was completely vertical, you can see that the lamp itself is pointing down. Hope you can see that. The 2 adjusters at the top here, you would need a 7mm socket on the side there, on there, and you basically just tighten them or loosen them up. And what happens here is that the thread is just in there, so that's the bolt part, and it pushes this end out. Now you can see on ours that it's not actually doing anything, so if it was the right adjustment it would still move around. So that's one of the problems. So this thing here is the auto leveling. So the pipe goes in there, the vacuum functions, and there's a pin in this which pushes down on that little white thing you can see just there. But you can also see that it's actually not long enough. So if I've just taken that out, you can see that this little, call it an actuator, the feed from the vacuum goes in there, and which pushes out, there must be a spring in here. I'm putting a bit of force on that to pull that out. But when we've switched the engine on, nothing comes out. This doesn't pop out, and you'd expect that to pop out if it was working. That's adjustable, I can see that, it's a screw. But I can also see that there's a fine crack going across where the pipe goes in. So that's probably our fault, but I don't really care about that because we're going to be replacing it with a manual kit. Now, there's a few other things that you can see on here. You've got this cable tie and this thing here. These are 2 attempts at me getting on my back and trying to fix this in a bodge way, I guess you would say. They need to come off, just like that. When the kit arrives, I think I'm going to be putting the kit in there, so that's pushing it against the bottom part rather than this side. In preparation for the new kit, I want to take this metal part off, and so therefore I need to undo these bits, and then I'm going to clean up this sealant here. So I'm going to use a pair of pliers because it looks like I can actually push that through there, but let's try that. There you go, there's one. I think there's 2, yeah, there you go. So that should just yeah, should just slide out. Here we go. Oh, it's just a bit of a Krypton factor moment there. So looking at the light from the back here, at the bottom are these shapes, these things here, which look exactly the same, except this one's got the actuator socket there, so that would normally fit in there. See, if I pushed that in there, I wouldn't want to break anything. So that's obviously come out of there, and it might have been a case of pushing it back in, but none of the hydraulics work, so there's no point using that, I don't think. One thing I've noticed on here, so that's up, okay, so that should be up like that. 2 adjusters at the top, nothing on the bottom just yet. We have this label here, and it says for left side traffic, for right side traffic. So if you needed to convert your headlights to left or right hand side, I think what you would do, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to damage my light. There's 3 screws, okay, 3 screws on the top of here. I think you would need to undo them enough so that you can adjust this part, and it looks like it will rotate by probably 5 degrees once you've loosened them. And as you do that, see this little silver tab here, it would move from here to here. I don't think it won't move very far, but yeah, so I think that's how you would adjust your lights for left or right-handed driving. So I've been trying to figure out how to get the old adjusters out. Now it looks like a screw with a Phillips on the end, or posi, and then there's a nut on the end, hexagonal nut with a little spade connector thing there for this type of screwdriver. But this looks like it's kind of bonded on, so I can't separate the screw part from the nut. Now even if I could, I still need to get out this part which it goes through. Now as you can see down there, we've got this some sort of 3-prong thing, like a Mercedes symbol, and that would twist and it would just fall through the hole. But however, on the other side you can see that there's, as you would twist it, it will go up this ramp here and then fall into the recess. Now it's actually locked in place and I can't get it out. I need to kind of lever this part up over this little ramp here, and then I'll be able to undo it. But I don't want to break the surround here or even file or damage this little ramp thing, because yeah, because the new one would be compromised then. Alright, so I managed to get my knife in there. Hopefully it will cause a little lift, so when I rotate this, oh look at that, yay! Genius. I am a genius. In fact, there's nothing really wrong. Oh, there is actually. This thing, it's broken. Now I've cleaned up all the way around here, scraped off all the gunk and a bit of white spirit, and I've done the same to the inside of the wing where this actually resides, so what this actually would screw onto. Yeah, so that was it's all nice and ready now for the kit that is coming in the post. So my kit has arrived. Looks like this. Comes in 3 pieces with a little stumpy piece like that. Basically they go in there. However, this is the wrong kit. There are 2 kits. This is our original adjuster, and as you can see here, those 3 prongs Mercedes thing here is not on here, so totally the wrong kit. Then I bought another kit, looks like that, which is, well, I would say identical, except for the fact that the clip is actually upside down. So they're actually a little bit longer as well, just a little bit. That doesn't matter. But I can actually take the bolt off the top, the nut off the top, which I have done over here. So I know it's possible. I think I should put new ones on, take the bolts off the top, the nuts, whatever you want to call them, unscrew this part, turn it around, put it back on, and then we got 2 good adjusters with the cups at the which fit into our metal surround. So that'll be great. So we're going to have 2 for the top here. Okay, so these 2 adjusters at the top will be fine. I need to anchor the bottom. This side is the same as this side. So what about if I drill a hole in the metal plate, same as we have over here, and then I can fit one of these, fit that in its place in the hole, and I know that these actually do fit in the metal. So that'll be in. Imagine there's a hole there. That'll be there, and that will go through this hole here, and then go into the little cup thing. Now, that would give me another problem in the fact that that piece does not fit in there at all. There's no way of keeping that in there. I can see there's a couple of little those ramp things that I was mentioning to hold the thing in place, this little tab, but how do I put it in? I would have to cut off the 3 notches here that make our Mercedes sign up, stick it in there, and then glue that in place with a very strong glue. So I cleaned all surfaces with a toothbrush and washing up liquid. I've got my glue ready, and it's just a matter of joining the 2 together now and letting it dry. Let me stop it there. As you may have seen, I was using Araldite in that shot just there, and it did stick it, but not for very long. It seems to be too brittle. I then attempted to use this plastic padding Super Steel, which is better. I think it's a lot more flexible, it dries quicker as well. Another epoxy, but again that still failed with a bit of force behind it when I was putting the light back in. So instead I ended up buying and using this, and this seems to be pretty strong stuff. It's Loctite super glue for all plastics, and it comes in 2 tubes. This is the super glue itself, and this is the activator. And all it is a felt tip pen. Well, it looks like a felt tip pen, and you basically put all that on the plastic before you put this on, and then you squeeze them both together, and it's dry in 30 seconds. Of course I left it longer until I actually put anything on it, until I put any force on it. Anyway, let's go back to the video. So as the glue is drying, I'm going to take my new adjusters apart. Turn the piece of plastic round the other way, screw it back on, and then screw back on the little nut on the end with a bit of Loctite. Before I assemble it all, I just thought I'd fit the that metal back plate back onto the inside of the light, just to see. Well, actually, there's a couple of screw holes, and I just wanted to make sure which screw holes I needed to screw in. However, I also noticed this. So just there is the new hole I've just drilled. I think that plastic thing that clips in there is going to foul on the bodywork, so I may have to get the Dremel out, make that surround a bit more clear of the hole. All I need to do now is put these in, and this should be simple enough. What I need, there you go, is a pair of long nose pliers, but I don't have any. Right, so that's 2 adjusters in, now the third. Well, we're on the final straight now. I just need to push the plastic caps here into the holes, and then we are ready then to mount it back into the motorhome. Yeah, got that one in. So it seems like using the hairdryer helped a bit. Now we got this one, the final one. That's hot. Right, so the cup's in. Now of course I don't want to break this bit here where it's glued. And then I think it's in without breaking. He says smashing the lamp. Oh, fantastic. So that is now all together. I haven't done it here, but what I'd recommend is before you mount the light back into the wing there, you should wire in the lamp back in to the electrics and connect the end cap back on, because this way you won't put so much force on the back of the light, forcing the adjusters to pop back out again. There you go. So we've finally got the light in, adjusted it up. As you can see, just there, it's all in the right place. Well, we hope it is. It's 5 meters away from the light, and this is 83 centimeters off the ground. The ground being not very level or anything like that, so hopefully that'll do. And if it's not, the MOT station should be able to adjust it all up now. So if this has helped you fix your light or adjust it or whatever, then please give it a thumbs up. If you like watching this, then why don't you consider subscribing, and if you do, don't forget to click that notification bell so you can get an update on when we release another video. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye. Welcome to Herman Hits the Road. This is Herman, our 1998 Fit. This is our motorhome Herman, a Hymer B564 on a Fiat Ducato, and it has these obvious looking, no, not obvious looking,